The Galactic Council had been very specific in their terms. No projectile weapons, no energy-based arms, no explosive devices. The treaty clearly stated that all diplomatic negotiations would be conducted in conditions of absolute safety, where no party could threaten another with ranged violence. Kanat smiled as he fastened the 47th blade to his body. Anna stood at the doorway of the preparation chamber, her arms crossed, watching her partner with a mixture of amusement and exasperation. "You know this is insane, right?" "Insane?" Kanat adjusted a throwing knife concealed in his boot. "I'm following the rules to the letter. They banned projectiles. These are knives. 47 knives, Kanat. 47. 48 if you count the one in my watch." He grinned, tapping the timepiece on his wrist. "Though technically that's more of a razor blade." Anna sighed and entered the room, her diplomatic robes flowing behind her. As Earth's primary negotiator, she was responsible for securing humanity's admission into the Galactic Council. It was the most important meeting in human history, and her security officer had decided to turn himself into a walking arsenal of medieval weaponry. "The Zelvari are going to lose their minds," she said. "Good. Let them." Kanat's expression hardened. "They're the ones who pushed for these restrictions. They think humans are primitive because we still use crude kinetic weapons. They have no idea what primitive really means. The Zelvari Concordat controlled 17 systems and considered themselves the pinnacle of civilized society. Their weapons were elegant, neural disruptors that incapacitated without violence, stasis fields that froze aggressors in place. They had spent the last 3 cycles lobbying to ban what they called barbaric human armaments from all council proceedings. They had gotten their wish. Now they would learn why that was a mistake. The negotiation hall was a masterpiece of alien architecture. Crystalline pillars rose to impossible heights, refracting light into patterns that hurt human eyes. 17 species sat in a circular arrangement, each delegation positioned equidistant from the center podium. The Zelvari occupied the prime position. Their ambassador, a tall, mantis-like creature named Thesic, presiding over the proceedings. Anna and Kanat entered together. Anna walked with practiced grace, her expression serene and diplomatic. Kanat followed 3 steps behind as protocol demanded for security personnel. The whispers started immediately. The Zelvari had compound eyes that could perceive far more than humans could see. They spotted the knives instantly. Every single one. The blades strapped to Kanat's thighs, the ones hidden in his jacket, the throwing knives in specially designed sheaths along his spine. Thesic's mandibles clicked in agitation. "Human delegation. Your security officer is armed." Anna stepped to the podium, her voice calm. "Ambassador Thesic, my security officer carries no projectile weapons, no energy-based arms, and no explosive devices. He is in full compliance with treaty restrictions. He carries weapons. He carries tools, specifically cutting implements. The treaty makes no mention of blades." The hall erupted. 17 species began arguing simultaneously, their translation devices creating a cacophony of overlapping protests. The Morphidians, peaceful traders who resembled 6-foot-tall slugs, retreated into their shells. The crystalline Quarians vibrated with frequencies that rattled the windows. And the Zelvari, the proud Zelvari, buzzed with fury. Thesic slammed 3 of his forearms on the council table. "This is an outrage, an act of aggression." Anna didn't flinch. "With respect, Ambassador, humanity did not write these restrictions. We simply adapted to them. If the Council finds our interpretation problematic, perhaps the treaty should have been more specific." Kanat remained perfectly still, his hands clasped behind his back, but his eyes tracked every movement in the chamber. He had positioned himself with clear sightlines to all potential threats. The Zelvari might have neural disruptors, but those took 1.3 seconds to charge. Kanat could draw and throw 5 knives in that time. He wouldn't, of course. This was a diplomatic negotiation, but they didn't know that. The Crithian delegation, warriors from a heavy-gravity world, began clicking their equivalent of laughter. Their ambassador, a scarred veteran named Gormath, spoke in a voice like grinding stone. "The human makes a point. We of Crithia remember when warfare was personal, when victory required looking your enemy in the eye." "Barbarism," Thesic hissed. "Honesty," Gormath corrected. "Your neural disruptors allow you to kill from a distance, to remain clean while others suffer. But a blade? A blade requires conviction. Anna seized the moment. The Galactic Council prides itself on diversity, on welcoming different perspectives and cultures. Humanity offers something unique. We remember where we came from. We haven't forgotten that civilization is a choice we make every single day, not a state we achieve and then take for granted. She gestured to Kanat. My security officer could have refused this assignment. He could have argued that the restrictions placed him at an unreasonable disadvantage. Instead, he adapted. He found a solution within the constraints given to him. That is what humans do. We adapt, we overcome. We survive. The chamber fell silent. Even the Zilvari had stopped buzzing. Anna continued, her voice carrying to every corner of the hall. You banned projectiles because you thought we relied on them. You wanted to civilize us, to force us to fight on your terms. But humanity learned to fight with rocks and sticks long before we learned to fight with guns. You didn't disarm us. You challenged us to remember who we are. Thesik's compound eyes fixed on Kanat. And who are you, human? Kanat spoke for the first time, his voice steady. We are the species that looked at a universe full of predators and decided we were prey no longer. We are the species that took sharpened stones and conquered a planet. We are the species that will meet any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and adapt to any restriction you place upon us. He paused, and yes, if necessary, we are the species that will bring 47 knives to a diplomatic negotiation. A long moment passed. Then Gormath began the Crithian battle laugh again, and this time several other delegations joined in. Even some of the Morphidians emerged from their shells, their eye stalks bobbing in what might have been approval. Thesik was not amused, but he was intelligent enough to recognize when he had been outmaneuvered. The Zelvari Concordat acknowledges humanity's creative interpretation of the treaty. Anna bowed slightly. Then perhaps we can begin actual negotiations. 6 hours later, as they walked back to their quarters, Anna finally let herself smile. You didn't actually think you'd need to use those, did you? Kanat shrugged. No, but the possibility changed how they saw us. Sometimes the weapon you carry matters less than the fact that you're willing to carry it. 47 knives, though. Well, he grinned. I couldn't fit a 49th. Weight distribution issues. Anna laughed, and somewhere in the diplomatic quarters, 17 alien species began to understand what humanity truly meant by the word determination. They had banned projectiles. Humanity had brought knives, and in doing so, had carved out their place among the stars.